Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
And Happy New Year. And I'm really glad that we are all here together as the Borough of Fanwood reorganizes its local government. So welcome. Welcome to our residents. Welcome to the family of our newly elected. Welcome to all of the residents that are here that understand the importance of what we do together as a community and make the time to come here on New Year's Day as we reorganize government. I will also let you know that for the very first time we are actually live streaming on Facebook, so that now for those who don't necessarily watch us on television, they can watch us now on Facebook as we go forward with this calendar year. Right now, I'd like to read the Open Public Meetings Act. I hereby announce and request that such be included in the minutes of this meeting, that notice of the time, place, and date of this meeting has been prominently posted on the bulletin board at Borough Hall, mailed to the Times, the Star Ledger, the Courier News, the Alternative Press, sent to the Borough Clerk, mailed to any person requesting the same in accordance of the requirements of the Open Public Meetings Act. I would like for all those that are here to please stand to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I would ask that you remain standing, and we are very fortunate that we have Pastor Michael Ward from Immaculate Heart of Mary who will do this morning's invocation.
God of all nations, Father of the human family, we give you thanks for the freedom we exercise and the many blessings of democracy we enjoy in these United States of America. We ask for your protection and guidance for all who devote themselves to the common good, working for justice and peace at home and around the world. We lift up all our duly elected leaders and public servants, those who will serve as president, legislator, judges, those in the military, law enforcement. Unite us, O Lord, with the common purpose, dedication, and commitment to achieve liberty and justice in the years ahead for all people, and especially those who are most vulnerable in our midst. Assist with your spirit of counsel and fortitude, wisdom and understanding, our mayor, newly elected town council members Erin McElroy Baker, Patricia Walsh, and Jeffrey Banks, and all the council members and civic leaders of this town of Fanwood. May they always seek the ways of justice, truth, and mercy. Grant that they may be enabled by your powerful protection to lead our community with honesty and integrity. We ask this, your blessing, God of power and might, wisdom and justice, now and always. Amen.
Thank you. So as Pastor Michael talked about right now is leadership and welcoming new people. And today we will be swearing in two fabulous women, Erin McElroy Barker and Patricia Walsh, as a result of their election this past November. It is critically important to have women in our governing bodies across the state of New Jersey. Currently, women only represent about 27% of the governing bodies across the 565 municipalities. And it is critically important that women see other women in positions of power. It's been my pleasure to know Erin, who's lived in Fanwood for the last 15 years. She is a mother to Connor and Kieran. She is a wife to Doug. She is a good sister and a good daughter. She works full-time as a licensed clinical social worker, and she's about to get sworn in on her second term. May I like to call forward Erin McElroy Barker and her family to be sworn in.
But you can't stand by.
Raise your right hand and repeat after me, please. I Erin McElroy Barker,
I, Erin McElroy Barker,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and that I will bear true faith and allegiance
and that I will bear true faith and allegiance
to the same
to the same
and to the governments established in the United States
and to the governments established in the United States
and in this state
and in this state
under the authority of the people.
under the authority of the people.
I do further solemnly swear
I do further solemnly swear
that I will faithfully,
that I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly perform
and justly perform
all the duties
all the duties
of the office of councilwoman
of the office of councilwoman
according to the best of my abilities.
according to the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations. As we are about to swear in our second soon-to-be councilwoman, I've had the pleasure of knowing her family, and specifically her brother, Bruce Walsh. And Bruce Walsh served this governing body for 3 terms, lived in Fanwood, loved Fanwood, and really left a wonderful mark. So it really is with great joy, and I think for the first time in our history of a borough, that we will have had a brother and a sister which has served on our governing body. Trish Walsh brings a legacy of public service up to the podium here. She currently works full-time in the New York City school districts, and she's been a teacher for 30-plus years. She's lived in Fanwood for 26 years. She is a good mother to Kerry and Erin and Brendan and Annie. She's got a great husband, Neil, and we know that Bruce is smiling this morning as we call you forward to get sworn in. Please come forward. Okay. Come on. This one. Okay. You stand over here, you're going to hold it. All right, come on. Here comes Bruce's twin. Here comes Bruce's twin. Okay. So please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Patricia Walsh,
I, Patricia Walsh,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and that I will bear true faith and allegiance
and that I will bear true faith and allegiance
to the same
to the same
and to the governments established in the United States
and to the governments established in the United States
and in this state
and in this state,
under the authority of the people.
under the authority of the people.
I do further solemnly swear
I do further solemnly swear
that I will faithfully,
that I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly perform
and justly perform
all the duties of a councilwoman
all the duties of a councilwoman
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations. Oh, this is exciting.
Come on down.
Okay.
I know.
Yeah, it's a good little corner here.
Did I leave paper over there? Okay, that's nice. Did I leave something? My papers over there?
Yeah, your notes.
Just a passive.
Put your address here, and then you're going to pass it to me.
So part of what I talked about earlier was a new year, new local government, new faces, new opportunities. And at the end of December, Councilman Russ Hugel stepped down as serving as a councilman and will be appointed this morning to serve as our borough attorney. Our borough attorney was unable to finish and continue on, and so an opportunity presented itself, and we welcome Councilman Hugel, well now, not Councilman Hugel, Solicitor Councilman Hugel, who is an attorney, lives in Fanwood, is married, has 2 daughters, and has been in Fanwood for 13 years and has actually been on our governing body. So we could thought of no better of an easy transition than someone that actually knows the inner workings of how Fanwood goes more than Russ. So we welcome you to that new position. But as a result of that vacancy, there's certain things that need to occur statutorily. And when a vacancy occurs, the committee of the party of which that person represents needs to meet within 15 days. So the Fanwood Democratic Committee met, and by state statute had to submit 3 names to this governing body. And we will pick one of those 3 names in a resolution, and we will swear in a new council person that will fulfill Russ Hugel's unexpired term. So, Councilman Krantz.
Thanks, Mayor. It is my absolute pleasure to move Resolution 190105, whereas Councilman Russell Hugel has resigned as a member of the council on December 19th, 2018, resulting in a vacancy in the membership of the council, and whereas the Fanwood Democratic Committee has submitted the following 3 names of qualified candidates for council to consider in making a selection to fill the vacancy: Jeffrey Banks, Thomas Plant, and John Solardo. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the Mayor and Council of the Borough of Fanwood that Jeffrey Banks is hereby appointed councilman as of January 1st, 2019, to fill the vacancy of Russell Hugel that expired on December 19th, 2018.
I need a second. I have a second. Roll call.
Anthony Carter?
Yes.
Tom Krantz?
Yes.
Heather Mitchell?
Yes.
Erin McElroy-Barker?
Yes.
Patricia Walsh?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Okay, so we are now going to swear in the newest member of our council. So I'd like to call forward Jeff Banks and his family, please. Please give him a nice warm welcome. So please put your hand on the Bible or raise your hand and repeat after me. I, Jeffrey Banks,
I, Jeffrey Banks,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the State of New Jersey
that I will support the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and that I will bear true faith and allegiance
and I will bear true faith and allegiance
to the same
to the same,
and to the governments established in the United States
and to the governments established in the United States
and in this state
and in this state,
under the authority of the people.
under the authority of the people.
I do further solemnly swear
I do further solemnly swear
that I will faithfully,
that I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly perform
and justly perform
all the duties
all the duties
of the office of councilman
of the office of councilman
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations and so, Councilman, you can take your seat up there. Oh, okay, you're going to do the first roll call, Mrs. McGovern?
Yes. Jeffrey Banks?
Present.
Anthony Carter?
Present.
Tom Krantz?
Here.
Erin McElroy-Barker?
Here.
Heather Mitchell?
Here.
Patricia Walsh?
Here.
Mayor Moore?
Here. So that is our first official roll call for 2019. So I look forward to working with each and every one of you here. As we continue on with our swearing in, it really gives me great pleasure that this young man, who is really of Fanwood, has been raised in Fanwood, has given his time in Fanwood, and has really sought to continue his love of Fanwood as joining the Fanwood Police Department. So I would like to call forward Chief Trigo. I would like to call forward Anthony Carter, who's our police commissioner. And I would like to call forward Timothy Green, Jr. So, come over here. So before we swear him in, I just thought it's important when we bring on a nice new face to Fanwood that you understand who they are, who they will be as they seek to protect and to serve the Borough of Fanwood. Timothy Green, Jr. is 29 years old, and he is a lifelong Fanwood resident. And as a mayor, there can be no greater moment when you can actually look at a young man who grew up in this town, and he is now going to be one of our police officers. He's a graduate of the Scotch Plains Fanwood High School. He's a graduate of Lincoln University with a Bachelor of Science degree in Criminal Justice from 2013. He was named NCAA Division II First Team All-American in football in 2011. He is currently a member of the Fanwood Volunteer Fire Department since 2014. He will be attending the basic course for police officers at the John H. Stamler Academy, Class 120, starting this week, January 4th, 2019. And as we call up his family, who is going to be holding the Bible, we need to pass a resolution before I swear him in. Go ahead.
So currently on the table is Resolution 19-01-06, and it's a motion from the floor.
I have it.
And he's going to read it.
Yes. Thank you, Mr. Green.
Thank you.
Okay, I gladly proclaim that on this day, January 1st, 2019, in the Borough of Fanwood, New Jersey, Resolution 19-01-06, whereas Sergeant Anthony Nasser is retiring on March 31st, 2019, and whereas the police chief requests authorization to hire a new recruit, Timothy Green, Jr., on January 1st, 2019, who will attend the John H. Stamler Police Academy in Scotch Plains, New Jersey. Now, therefore, be it resolved, the Borough Council hereby authorizes the hiring of a new recruit, Timothy Green, Jr., as of January 1st, 2019.
So we have a second. We have a second, and now a roll call, please, Mrs. McGovern.
Yes.
Erin McElroy Barker,
Yes.
Jeffrey Banks,
Yes.
Tom Krantz,
Yes.
Catherine Mitchell,
Yes.
Lisa Walsh.
Yes.
Motion carried.
All right, it's the first step. So I would like to call forward his grandfather, Edward Green Sr., who will hold the Bible, and I'd like to call forward his father, Timothy Green Sr., and his mother, Andrea Green. Come on, that's it. Squish together, squish together. Timothy, put your hand on the Bible and raise your hand and repeat after me. I, Timothy Green, Jr.,
I, Timothy Green, Jr.,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution
that I will support the Constitution
of the United States
of the United States
and the Constitution
and the Constitution
of the State of New Jersey,
of the State of New Jersey,
and that I will bear true faith
and I will bear true faith
and allegiance
and allegiance
to the same
to the same
and to the governments established
and to the governments established
in the United States
in the United States
and in this state
and in this state
under the authority of the people.
under the authority of the people.
And I do further solemnly swear
And I do further solemnly swear
that I will faithfully,
that I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly perform
and justly perform
all the duties
all the duties
of the office of
of
police officer
police officer
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations. Isn't that a nice way to start the year off? Isn't it? Isn't it? Okay. Okay. Oh, did I take it? I took it. So, Timothy, you just need to sign this to make it official. And as he's doing that, I'd like to call forward Fanwood Democratic Chairman Jack Molinar, who has a presentation on behalf of the Fanwood Democrats.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. It's great. Happy New Year, everyone. As the Fanwood Democratic Chair, I would like to congratulate our new Councilwoman, Trish. Congratulate again, Aaron, again reelected. And thank you, Jeff, for stepping in. And as a Democratic Chair, I mean, in the Democratic Party, we're so happy that you guys took on this role. So with that, we have flowers for you guys. Flowers last year. And we even have something for Jeff. Not flowers.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
One more thing.
Of
Sorry,
course.
I do have one more thing. I was on council for a while, and I got this nice big farewell. Russ was on council for 10 years, but he just moved a seat over. So with that, the Fanwood Democratic Party is very happy that he only moved one seat and didn't leave the building. So thank you, Russ, for your many years of service. Thank you.
Eleanor, would you, as the Borough Clerk, would you please give the election certificates to both Councilwoman Erin McElroy Barker and Councilwoman Patricia Walsh?
This is proof that you were elected.
Just didn't take my word for it.
Just in case.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you. With that, we move on, and I would like to take a motion for the election of a council president for 2019.
So moved. Mayor, I would love to nominate Tom Krantz.
I have a motion for Tom Krantz. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Congratulations, Tom.
Thank you.
Moving on, we have the appointment of borough officials, which is located on page 6 of the agenda there. I'd just like to have a motion on that, and that lists all of our public officials that the council appoints, everywhere from the administrator down to the ADA coordinator. Good. Yes. What? I'm not sure what you just said. Oh, okay, thank you. So on page, appointment of borough officials on page 6, I'd like to have a motion to move that.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
We also have an appointment of a resolution 190126, which is a resolution for professional services for our borough attorney for Russ Hugel. May I have a motion on that?
So moved.
Second.
I have a second. May I have a roll call, please?
Tom Krantz,
Yes.
Catherine Mitchell,
Yes.
Jeffrey Banks,
Yes.
Anthony Carter,
Yes.
Aaron McElroy Walker.
Yes.
Patricia Walsh.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you very much. I now like to call forward members of the Fanwood Rescue Squad who will take their oath of office. I know, so many. That's a good thing. I'd rather have more of you than less of you. So the men and women that are standing behind me represent a portion of our all-volunteer rescue squad. And this is the leadership team for 2019. And the Fanwood Rescue Squad, as I mentioned, is all volunteer. And they work very, very hard. And they sacrifice a lot of time away from their family, and they sacrifice a lot to make sure that they stay current with all the certifications that are necessary, so that when they do have to roll up in front of your house and take care of yourself or your loved one, you really know that you are in good hands here in Fanwood. So for that, I want to thank each and every one of you for all of the work that you continue to do. So we will swear in the leadership for 2019. If you will each raise your right hand and repeat after me and fill in the name of your name. I do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey, and that I will bear full true faith and allegiance to the same and to the governments established in the United States under the authority of the people. I do further solemnly swear that I will faithfully, impartially, and justly perform all the duties, fill in the blank of your duty, according to the best of my ability. So help me God. Please give them a nice round of applause. Thank you. And we will be swearing in our fire department, fire company at the annual dinner dance that they do, I believe, later this month in January. Moving on, we have some appointments that we need to make, and that is really the focus of our reorganization meeting. The first one is that a council person sits on the planning board for a one-year term, and I would like to have a motion to move the council representative, which will be Councilman Anthony Carter, for 2019.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Welcome, Anthony. We're going to have a busy year. The council also makes an appointment to the Union County Revenue Sharing. That is where we get our community development block grant money from. And I'd like to have a motion to put into motion Councilwoman Kathy Mitchell's name to represent Fanwood.
So moved.
I need a second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. We are nothing but the strength of our volunteers in our community. And the mayor makes appointments to members of boards and commissions, and they are listed on page 7, 8, and 9 of the agenda that you have here. And I just want to say that, on a whole, that we are very fortunate to have so many diverse individuals that live here in Fanwood that step up, whether it be the Planning Board, the Environmental Commission, the Shade Tree Commission, the Rec Commission, our shared services. We have a shared service coordinating council where we meet on a regular basis with the Board of Education and Scotch Plains. which is very important. We have a liaison to the Board of Education. It will continue to be Erin McElroy Barker, who will go and really be our eyes and our ears of what happens at the board meetings there and come back and share with us what is going on there. And the Union County Cultural and Arts Program, Adele Kenny and Tom Plant continue to serve as well. So if I can have a motion on those appointments on page 7, 8, and 9.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. That goes for, again, on page 10, the mayor makes appointments with the council consent on page 10. And that is the Recreation Commission, Historic Preservation, and the Board of Health. These are all Fanwood residents that continue to serve terms here. And really, I'll just say something about the Board of Health, and I know that Tom Krantz has really works closely with them. We have such a great group of individuals that are responsible for the food safety in all of our food establishments and the cleanliness of all of our establishments. They are starting to get into the conversations about the legalization of marijuana that is probably coming and what that will do and how that will impact our community. They make sure that, our dogs have the vaccines, that they're the rabies shots that they need, and that our seniors and children have their flu shots. So Phyllis Fisher, Margaret Lewis, and Jan Siegel will continue to be reappointed after today. Our Historic Preservation Commission, Joan Skubish, Scott Pierce, Joe Nagy, who is our historian who serves us well, and Jen Roman will be appointed. And our wonderful Recreation Commission, Elsie Blassie, Michael Kelly, Scott Sinclair, and Sarah Johnson. If you really love about Fanwood, the Recreation Commission has its fingerprints on it, and these are the people, part of the group that does that. So I'd like to have a motion to approve all of those appointments on page 10.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. The next resolutions of 1901 all the way through 1901-23, we are able to do in one motion with a voice vote in the resolution for hiring of our professionals. So I would like to have a motion to move Resolution 1901-01 through 1901-23.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Next up, resolutions requiring a roll call vote will be for our auditors for the year. For Resolution 1901-24, auditors will be Suppley Clooney. May I have a motion on that?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Catherine Mitchell?
Yes.
Tom Krantz?
Yes.
Jeffrey Banks?
Yes.
Anthony Carter?
Yes.
Erin McElroy Barker?
Yes.
Tracy Walsh?
Thank you. Our next resolution for professional services will be for our Labor Council of Jala and Jala. I'd like to have a motion on that.
So moved.
Second.
May I have a roll call, please?
Catherine Mitchell?
Yes.
Tom Krantz?
Yes.
Jeffrey Banks?
Yes.
Anthony Carter?
Yes.
Erin McElroy Barker?
Yes.
Tracy Walsh?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Resolution 1901-27 is a resolution to provide downtown economic coordinator responsibilities under Rogat McCarthy.
So moved.
Second.
Roll
Catherine
call.
Mitchell?
Yes.
Tom Krantz?
Yes.
Jeffrey Banks?
Yes.
Anthony Carter?
Yes.
Erin McElroy Barker?
Yes.
Tracy Walsh?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Resolution providing professional service for dental and life to Brown & Brown Insurance.
So moved.
Second.
May I have a roll call, please?
Catherine Mitchell?
Yes.
Tom Krantz?
Yes.
Jeffrey Banks?
Yes.
Anthony Carter?
Yes.
Erin McElroy Barker?
Yes.
Tracy Walsh?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Next resolution to provide professional redevelopment agency attorney to Rogat McCarthy.
So moved.
Second.
Have a roll call, please?
Catherine Mitchell?
Yes.
Tom Krantz?
Yes.
Jeffrey Banks?
Yes.
Anthony Carter?
Yes.
Erin McElroy Barker?
Yes.
Tracy Walsh?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Resolution hiring as a grant writer, Millennial Strategies.
So moved.
Second.
May I have a roll call, please?
Catherine Mitchell?
Yes.
Tom Krantz?
Yes.
Anthony Carter?
Yes.
Erin McElroy Barker?
Yes.
Jeffrey Banks?
Yes.
A resolution to hire for our newsletter and our webmaster direct developments.
So moved.
Second.
I just went out of order, but take that one.
Catherine Mitchell,
Yes.
Tom Krantz,
Yes.
Jeffrey Banks.
Yes.
Anthony Carter.
Yes.
Erin McElroy-Barker.
Yes.
Patricia Walsh.
Yes.
Motion carries.
I had skipped over one for financial services for NW Financial. May I have a motion on that?
So moved.
Second.
A roll call, please.
Tom Krantz,
Yes.
Catherine Mitchell,
Yes.
Jeffrey Banks.
Yes.
Anthony Carter.
Yes.
Erin McElroy-Barker.
Yes.
Patricia Walsh.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Resolution to provide professional services for our TV, videography, and engineering to Colonia Productions.
So moved.
Second.
Catherine Mitchell,
Yes.
Tom Krantz,
Yes.
Jeffrey Banks.
Yes.
Anthony Carter.
Yes.
Erin McElroy-Barker.
Yes.
Patricia Walsh.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Resolution to provide redevelopment agency planner to T&M Associates.
So moved.
Second.
Catherine Mitchell,
Yes.
Tom Krantz.
Yes.
Jeffrey Banks.
Yes.
Anthony Carter.
Yes.
Erin McElroy-Barker.
Yes.
Patricia Walsh.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Thank you. Resolution to hire for a taxable attorney Palumbo Renaud in De Apollonia.
Second.
So moved.
Oh, sorry.
Catherine Mitchell,
Yes.
Tom
Gotta change it up a little. Yes.
Jeffrey Banks.
Yes.
Anthony Carter.
Yes.
Erin McElroy-Barker.
Yes.
Patricia Walsh.
And finally, a resolution to provide janitorial services to the borough to BMI Janitorial.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Catherine Mitchell,
Yes.
Tom Krantz,
Yes.
Jeffrey Banks.
Yes.
Anthony Carter.
Yes.
Erin McElroy-Barker.
Yes.
Patricia Walsh.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Okay. So that actually concludes our official business for our reorganization. We will now have some council comments, and I'll start with our newly sworn-in councilwoman, Mrs. Barker.
Oh, I guess I get to go first. Good morning. Thank you all for coming. I want to take a second and just thank Russ because he is sort of stepping off a little without ceremony. And for those of you who ever came to meetings, I've been sitting between Jack and Russ for the first 3 years and have learned a tremendous amount. They've been kind and generous and very patient with all my questions. And so I'm very, very glad that you're just sitting here now instead of right here, and I'm still sitting next to you. So thank you for all you've done, and I'm glad you're staying around. I want to thank the Fanwood community for trusting me and Trish and this council to continue to carry us forward with everything we've been doing in Fanwood and everything we have yet to do. I also want to thank my fellow council members, the Democratic Committee, the mayor, and of course my family for supporting our campaign. I even had Kieran running up and down the street putting flyers in people's doors this year. So everybody did pitch in because I actually had to run a campaign this year, which is different than 3 years ago. So in some ways this election feels a bit more special because I've been around for 3 years and people still have told me that they want me to stay. So I thank you. I did decide to run for a second term for two important reasons. The first is that I have spent the last 3 years figuring this job out, listening, learning, using my voice when I needed to and when I thought I had something to contribute. But I believe now that I've sort of mostly figured it all out, I have a lot more to do. And so I look forward to working with on more solid legs over the next 3 years and taking on projects that I maybe wasn't ready to take on 3 years ago. And the second reason is that I just love this town. Doug and I found this town by accident 15 years ago when we were getting priced out of Montclair. And despite my allegation that I was going to leave in 3 years, I didn't. And I really love this community. And I want to do what I can to make sure that it remains a kind and vibrant community that embodies the values that we all are trying to teach our children every day. And so those are really the reasons that I'd like to stay, and I'm grateful that you're going to have me. But having been in this role now for 3 years, my goals for the next 3 years have changed a little bit. I want to use my voice to improve communication between the governing body and the people living here in Fanwood. I would really like us as a group to foster a healthier more productive conversation about our mutual goals as a town of diverse people. I want to work with all of you to make sure that this town is an example of openness, tolerance, and diversity, as we have had so many challenges in that area over the last several years. I look forward to us working as a community along with Scotch Plains to have a good dialogue and to become more tolerant and more open. I want us to continue to move forward in our efforts to make our downtown a walkable community where people want to spend time. And again, thanks to Jack for so much of the brainstorming around that. And I think it's our job as council to keep that effort going. I believe we need to expand our culture of volunteerism. I've been saying this for a couple years, but that's one of the projects I wasn't quite ready to take on, and now I am. This has always been a part of my personal life. And I believe has always been a part of this community traditionally, and I'd like to see it grow. And last but not least, obviously, I would like for us as a council to do everything we can to keep Fanwood affordable, running efficiently, and listening to the needs of the people who live there, young and old. And so I thank you again. Happy New Year, and I look forward to 2019.
Councilwoman Walsh.
Well, thank you, Mayor. Good afternoon and Happy New Year. It's really nice to see so many people here. Thank you to my family and friends for coming and everyone else. I would like to say that one of the reasons that I became involved is because I saw the hard work that the mayor and the council have done over the years. And I feel extremely fortunate to be able to work with them to continue that work. And I would like to say thank you to the residents for coming out on Election Day and voting for Erin and I. It was a great turnout, and we appreciated it. During the campaign, I was with Erin and Jack and the mayor knocking on doors and going to the post office, and I really felt very fortunate to meet so many great people in Fanwood. Everyone was kind and polite. We got welcomed into one couple's home. They were celebrating their 50th, I think, wedding anniversary. The gentleman showed us his carpentry. We were introduced to a woman who said that she had never voted and wasn't registered, and after Colleen got finished, she was indeed going to register and vote. So it was just nice to get to see people and talk with people, and everyone was really so gracious. We met people who said, I've lived here 10 years, 15 years, and I'm happy. Everything's good. I met yesterday just a woman, a young mother with 2 daughters, and she was going on and on and on about how she loved the town so much and thinks that the council works so hard with the residents, and was grateful to the rec committee for all the activities that they provide. She was glowing about her school and her principal. So it was really nice for me to get to know a lot of people and see a lot of people. Of course, there are issues and things that need to be worked on, and I have found in getting to know the council and the mayor better that they are indeed a group of very thoughtful, kind, hardworking, dedicated people, and I really am looking forward to working with them. They take the time to listen. They want to know what the residents' concerns are, and I think that they work very hard to be successful in having that come to fruition. So again, I really am thankful to the residents and to the mayor and council, and I look forward to a great year. Thank you.
Thank you. Council President.
Thank you, Mayor. I first want to thank my council colleagues for electing me president. I guess that's a good thing. I'll let you know. I also want to congratulate and welcome to the council Trish Walsh and Jeff Banks. And congratulate Erin for being elected to her second term. The reason I ran for council 5 years ago was because I thought this was a kind of a next step in volunteering from my years on the rescue squad. This is the uber volunteer job, people. The amount of time, and I don't want to scare off our 2 newbies here, but the amount of time that you actually put in for the $1 a year that the town pays us, it really adds up. None of us is here because we're all here because we want to be here, but it's a pretty significant job, and to find people who are willing to do that is really a great thing. So again, welcome to Jeff and Tricia. I also want to welcome Tim Green to the police department. My son is a police officer, and I've found in his years here that this is a really great group of men and women. I think you're going to find a lot of support there, and those guys standing up there, I don't think you can do better in terms of leadership. Chief Trigo's always been open with us. He's always been transparent. Anytime any one of us makes any kind of sound that we need an answer to, he's there, or Frank or Gene are there too. So welcome aboard. Good luck. The Police Academy is going to be a great experience, and you'll get back to us on that, I'm sure. And for everybody who's here, thank you so much for coming. I would only urge our residents to continue taking an interest in what goes on here. It's really kind of a shame to me that this meeting is the most well-attended meeting of all of our meetings during the year. It'd be great to see some people show up, maybe one meeting. We're also on TV for every one of our regular meetings on Channel 24 and Channel 35. We are tonight streaming this live on Facebook. It's our goal, right, Ed, to do this every time we have a regular meeting? He's nodding, that's good. So please help us by paying attention and say what's on your mind when the time comes. Thank you all very much, and Happy New Year.
Thank you.
Happy New Year to everyone. This is certainly a day of many congratulations. And first of all, to Aaron, congratulations on being reelected. Your past 3 years have brought a totally different perspective to the council, which was needed. And you just gave us a lot to think about. And I mean that very complimentarily. To Tricia, I am so glad you are here. To be following in your brother's footsteps. I know I shouldn't say that, but I mean, I knew your brother for almost as long as he lived here in Fanwood, and we were very fond of each other. So I am so glad that you're here. Thank you. And my new friend. Thanks for stepping in at the last minute when we had a vacancy.
Thank you.
To get to know you, and I'm sure you'll be a great asset. Good. To our new lawyer, Russ. For those of you who don't know, Russ and I would banter back and forth quite a bit. And we also talked a lot about the Yankees, and I guess now our repertoire is going to have to be much more professional since he's now our lawyer. And Tom, congratulations on being elected president.
Thanks, Kathy.
I am here because I just want what's best for Fanwood. I've been here a long time, and that was my goal when I started, and that's my goal now. I love this town. I've lived here since I grew up in Plainfield, but my parents moved here when I was, I don't know, maybe 10-ish. So I've lived here a very long time, and my goal is to just make things a little bit better. My wish for everyone for the new year is Happy New Year, but peace. Peace in the way we all treat each other. Peace nationally. We've been through a very turbulent year. And not only politically, but weather-wise, where so many people have lost everything. And Erin, this was always one of your things this year, the way we treat each other. And I totally agree with you. And we start that here amongst ourselves. So, Happy New Year and peace.
Councilman Banks.
Well, I first just want to say thank you for asking me to be a member of the Fanwood Town Council. I'm truly honored. For those of you who don't know me, I'm a lifelong New Jersey resident. I've been a resident of Fanwood for 15 years. My wife and I moved here when my daughter was 11 months, and my son was just shy of turning 3 years old. Now they are 16 and 18. I have always embraced the Fanwood community with my usual start each morning at the Dunkin' Donuts, where I see and chat with many of the Fanwood police officers. I work locally in Scotch Plains, so I'm usually back in downtown Fanwood, grabbing some lunch at Nick's, Fanwood Grill, Ginger Sushi, or Shillings. For such a small town, there are so many wonderful businesses here. I am so impressed by the growth of downtown Fanwood over the years. I am truly proud to call Fanwood my home. When my daughter was 9 years old, she started her first bake sale to raise money for autism awareness. In 2016, our family launched the first Rockin' for Autism event in LeGrand Park. It has grown by leaps and bounds, and we've raised over $50,000 to date. In 2018, Rockin' for Autism was the #1 autism New Jersey fundraiser in New Jersey. Yeah. Thank you. Through managing this event, I've met so many wonderful people in Fanwood and have garnered the support of the town officials, businesses, and local residents. So as a resident, a business person, a parent, and a volunteer, I look forward to being a member of the Fanwood Town Council and helping out our community to continue to thrive and grow. Thank you and Happy New Year.
Councilman Carter, as you finished up your first year.
So I can say that the first year was rather eventful. I was roped into being a part of the council by our illustrious mayor and Jack, who slipped out the back. Maybe he thought I would address him. And initially I was kind of led to believe that there would be 2 meetings a month.
Me too.
And that would be the extent of my commitment. Well, I can say a year later, those 2 meetings a month have magnified. And I'm okay with it, right? So the mayor knows and everyone knows for the most part that I have a handful of kids of my own, or 2 handfuls, and I walk around and run around and represent quite a few other handfuls of children as well, so they take up a bunch of my time. But there's been an interesting balance that has occurred with our council. I'm sworn to serve, our community, constituents, and just being there for them all. Our community that we serve is diverse to an extent, but it is a loving community, I can say. In my first year, I was appointed to the Public Safety Committee to be the chairman and the police commissioner. And when I thought that that would mean just meeting Chief at Dunkin' Donuts in the morning, have a cup of coffee and talk about community relations, as you all know through the news and through the media and social media, that Fanwood experienced a rather eventful year in that area. I can say that with our chief at the helm, and Lieutenant Chin, Lieutenant Marrero here, they have the interests of upholding the law, but protecting the residents of Fanwood as a whole. I know that they do this indiscriminate. I know that they do this with professionalism, irrespective of some of the reports that have been out that we'll have to address, of course. When there are issues that people feel are in the forefront, it is still our obligation to address them through communication so individuals have information and have proper information, not just one-sided information. And as we go forward in our second year, my second year, I will continue to make it one of my obligations to disseminate this information as it has been collected efficiently. I'm looking over at our new borough attorney over there. That's Russ. The emails are going to fly, Russ. Be ready. Okay? Now, secondly, we have a new police officer, newly sworn in. And I'll tell you a little bit about the process that I didn't know until this year, of course. So as Lieutenant Nasser, Sergeant Nasser retired, we had to fill his position, one of our 17 positions in Fanwood. So the process was the chief had to list it online, and he received hundreds of applications from individuals from everywhere, all over the country, some out of the country, and of course a bunch from our community. He took the time with his lieutenants to pare it down to a select group, I believe of about 20, that they subsequently brought in and interviewed. And then they pared it down to 6 individuals that they brought before myself and the Public Safety Committee, Councilwoman Mitchell. We interviewed them. And when we interviewed them, there was an individual who stood head and shoulders above the rest of the bunch. He's not here today. No, he's Timothy Green. and what really helped to set him apart, all of the illustrious comments that the mayor made about him are well known and healed, and they're all true. There are others that you may not know that are also true, but he has a vested commitment to our community, right? I've seen him doing volunteer work. You want to know where your tax dollars are going? You didn't have to pay Timmy Green to pick up the leaves, right? So he was doing volunteer work there. You didn't have to pay Timmy Green to be a part of our fire squad. Okay? He's been a part of our fire squad. We're all going to have to pay him to be one of our police officers, though. And I can say that that's money well spent. So as we move forward through this year, there are challenges, and there are challenges from last year that have yet to be resolved. And I can let you know that although you may not hear about every step that's being taken, that those challenges and issues that faced us in the past, specifically last year, are still being addressed. And as we get further, you will know through communication, through the channels, where we are with the processes. So I would hope that some of us, as we sit here, do not feel as if things are being brushed aside or being cast aside. I am here personally to say that those issues are being addressed, and they will continue to be addressed throughout the year.
Thank you.
Happy New Year to all of my council, mayor, our professionals, our beautiful residents, my children hanging out in the back, your children hanging out at home watching us on television. And I'd like to say prosperous, happy, healthy New Year to all. Do not hesitate to contact me if you need to. I received an envelope today, and I am paid rather heftily. It's for a full $1 for my services for the year, and I am overpaid.
Thank you,
All right,
Councilman.
so thank you all for coming out.
So before we adjourn to head over to the Chelsea for a wonderful lunch, which is co-sponsored by the Borough of Fanwood and the Fanwood Democratic Organization, I just wanted to take a couple minutes and just share with you some thoughts. My first thought is, as I listen to the men and women on either side of me, how lucky we are. How lucky we are to have such a well-rounded, diverse group of residents with all the strengths of what they do professionally, that they are not afraid to stand up and to speak and to advocate on your behalf. So I really look forward, and I think it's going to be a really great year. But we're only as good as the men and women that help us here in the borough. And so to Mrs. McGovern, we want to thank you for everything that you continue to do for us. Let's give Eleanor a nice round of applause. To our borough engineer, Antonius, thank you for all the work that you do on our roadways. We have our zoning officer here in the back somewhere, Ray Sullivan, sitting there, Liz Jeffrey, our economic development, Dan Weiss runs our library. The leadership of our police department, thank you. I mean, we're as safe as we can be. Our fire department, our assistant chief is in the back there representing and each and every one of you. Fanwood continues to be a really great community. And for a small community, we do so much. And we are today at the forefront, and we are examples of really what smart growth looks like. For those of you who have lived in Fanwood for a long time, all you have to do is drive along South Avenue and LeGrand Avenue in our corridors to see the transformation. And it continues today. It has been 12 years of hard work to get us where we are today. And we rightly deserve and receive the accolades of having smart growth, downtown redevelopment, no vacancies when it comes to our residential units. Think about that. For every apartment that we put up, we are having someone move in there. For our retail community, for if a store goes out, we just wait a little, and we're going to get that right fit. And we are a community of mom and pop stores. So as your mayor, I really encourage you to make sure that you visit and you shop and you spend your money locally, because that is what is continuing to make Fanwood a vibrant community. 2018 actually saw the first residents in what is the final project of what we call Block 64, which is our redevelopment. The first 8 townhomes along LeGrand, which is a 35-unit project, were occupied this past November. And the remaining units will actually come on. And that is a brand new type of housing unit for us in Fanwood. And we are really excited to say, again, that as those units come online, people are moving into Fanwood there. And that project there is probably about a $13 million investment. So when you think about the fact that developers and people look at Fanwood as a good, safe investment for the future, we know that that is accurate. We also have welcomed so many new businesses in town. The Railside Cafe has changed its name, Ivy Education, Kessler Rehabilitation, Jolie Visage, Fanwood Eye Care, Fanwood Pharmacy, Monk's Home Improvement. And they live side by side with some of our established organizations and businesses of the Fanwood Clipper and Enchantments and Sing Couture. For the ladies in this room, if you have not stopped in Sing Couture across the street from the train station, you should. She is from Vietnam, and she started out with 1 storefront, and now she has 3 storefronts in Fanwood, and she moves beautiful dresses all across the country, and they come into Fanwood for the type because she is a seamstress second to none. We've seen beautification of our plaza downtown. For those of you who've lived here long enough, you can remember what the backsides of all those stores look like. They had the individual dumpsters. They had terrible macadam. There was nothing back there. And I am so excited now that we have a plaza and we've got this beautiful street furniture, and we're going to be doing a lot of programming there to bring those people downtown, as Councilman Barker said. We welcome Monk's Home Improvement. The whole South Avenue corridor, watch 2019, is going to be transformed. We have $1 million grant that we've received from the federal government for beautification. So starting at Terrell, working all the way back to the train station, you're going to see new sidewalks, new lighting, new street furniture that's going to meet up to our train station, and it's going to look absolutely beautiful. Lightbridge Academy broke ground and opened up, and with it brought close to 20 new employees. And that's something that I would like each and every one of you to keep in mind. When people sometimes complain about development or complain about the changes, well, what they don't see is that we're bringing jobs. We're bringing good jobs for Fanwood, into Fanwood. And a lot of those jobs, we see our kids being able to now participate in as part-time employees, and they don't have to go far. We have a redevelopment area that we are going to see changes, which is over by the old former A&P. We see concepts that are going to be done. We know that the Goddard School has celebrated 10-year anniversary. So for companies that can last here, it's a good thing. We welcome, like I said, Lightbridge Academy. We welcome Sheelan's Fish Market. We welcome Do You Knit, which is one of the largest, most popular knitting stores across the county. But we understand for how many businesses we have in town, we also have a very strong home-based business. And what separates Fanwood, I think, from a lot of communities is that we actually focus on our home-based businesses. The men and women who don't have brick and mortars, but actually get up every day and are working out of their home. And we've had actually 6 roundtable discussions with them and how we can get those home-based businesses more integrated into our community. Saturday mornings in the plaza, ladies' night out, our 2nd annual summer fan jam, which is sponsored by our Greater Westfield Area Chamber of Commerce, our Fanny Wood Day, second to none, and Memorial Day. I think you all saw the really great banners, the hero banners that lined Scotch Plains and Fanwood. And upcoming, we have Martin Luther King Day of Service, which is celebrating 10 years of having this, not a day off, but a day on. And that's between Fanwood, Scotch Plains, the Y, the JCCs, the Ministerium, and Social Justice Matters. So we really hope that you will take some time and be a part of that. Fanwood is a wonderful community, but it also has its challenges. And so with that, I have been working with both the mayors of Scotch Plains and Westfield to find opportunities where we believe we can share services. I am also out there fighting almost every day on getting that one-seat ride. And we are not going to give up until we get those peak hour one-seat rides, because that's what we deserve here. And we have banded together as mayors along the 23 towns on the line, and we are actually working with all of the state senators that represent Republican and Democrat to make sure that we can get that one-seat ride sooner rather than later. We have had great success with our townwide paving programs, and as Jack Molinar mentioned in his last meeting, which I had not thought of, over the last several years, we actually installed over 1 mile of new sidewalks in our town. So if you think about how small our town is, the fact that we could install 1 new mile of sidewalks is pretty significant. We want to be a walkable, livable community, and being able to go from point A to point B safely is actually where it begins. To our library, we love our library. We will continue to have conversations about the new building there. We are waiting for the grant application to be released from the state to see what the process is about going and seeking funds to do a new library there on our site and how successful we will be. So stay tuned for that. And you'll see a lot of conversation about a revaluation that is coming this year in 2019. We were ordered by the Union County Board of Taxation to move forward with one. I will tell you that we will have a very open communications as we move forward in the new year about what that means. We will be doing some meetings at night and on the weekends so that everybody can understand and sort of put it in perspective of not to be as anxious as I think some of our people in our community are. I enjoy being your mayor today as much as I did when I got sworn in now, going into my 16th year. I have grown up with you. I literally have grown up with you. My children have grown up with you. My son Liam was a year old, and now he is 16 and a sophomore at the high school. My son Daniel is 14, and Colin is 12. And each of us here have children or raising children. We work, we raise our families, and we give back to this community. So I consider myself fortunate. I want to really thank you for the support that you have shown me and my family, because I do believe it takes a village, and I can't think of a better village than Fanwood that I would want to be in with all of you. So we're going to conclude right now the meeting, and then we're all going to go over to the Chelsea and join in some good savory selections, another home-based catering business who's going to be giving us a good lunch over there. And we really look forward to having a great year all together with you. So with that, I'd like to have a motion to open the meeting to the public.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I'd like to call forward any members of the public that wish to come forward at this time. Seeing that there isn't any, may I have a motion to close the meeting to the public?
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And can I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
And before we adjourn, I need to make sure that I push it back over to our benediction. If you may stand, please.
Loving and eternal God, we thank you for our civil liberties and freedom, for our opportunities and our privileges, and for all who are elected and called to serve the people. Grant us your continued blessing now and throughout this new year. Amen.
Amen. A motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Good day.
Happy New Year.
All right, we should get one picture. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, don't go anywhere. We're going to do our group picture. Come on up here.
First meeting under your belt.
All right, so we got to do a group picture before we
Yes.
adjourn.
Tall guys in the back.
Tall guys in the back.